how-to book, which it's not. It's more of a memoir. Well, you know, I wouldn't say that it was a memoir either, because I wouldn't want you to think that all of the stories in it are true. Like the stories of me locking my juggling props outside in the freezing cold, or the teeth mark on the piano, or that time I took the birthday card my juggling balls gave me and ripped it up. Stories like those are terrible. Well, those stories are true. Which brings me to my first demonstration. When ripping up your child's birthday card, rip it up slowly so that they can really feel it. You want them to be ashamed that they would bring you such drivel. You want to make sure that you rip it up so small that they can't tape it back together. Because if they could tape it back together and give it to you, well, then that would be terrible. You want to rip it into such small pieces that you can, when your juggling balls are giving their best performance, throw it in the air like confetti. So that they are reminded in that moment of their previous failures. So they don't get too arrogant. Because after all, it is hard work being a tiger juggler. There are a lot of things you can't let your juggling balls do. For example, they are not allowed to attend sleepovers. They are not allowed to have play dates or be in the school play. Dad, I got cast as snowball number 3. Watch. Wasn't I good? No. Plays are for losers and Europeans. If you are going to be an American juggling tiger, you cannot let your juggling balls do that. In fact, you have to teach them the difference by hours of practice. Normally, I make them practice by themselves for hours, lying on the floor. And when they can't levitate themselves, I make them do it again. And a lot of people are over-exaggerating some of the things that I've said in my book, like threatening to take away all of my juggling props' favorite toys and clothes and burn them. Well, that's true. I did that. But it worked. They then gave the best performance of their life, because there are 2 ways to juggle the European way, which is disgusting. And if you are being a tiger juggler, you have to make sure that your juggling props do one thing and one thing only. Get A's and gold medals. Only gold medals. So you teach them the best and the hardest juggling tricks, like the pirouette, where one ball goes high in the air. Do it better. 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 Almost good. You never tell them that they've done a good job, even when it's been perfect. And while that one ball is in the air, the other 2 spin around in a circle. 360 degrees. Not a degree more and not a degree less. A perfect pirouette. That's one ball up in the air with a pirouette. One ball up higher and a pirouette. We call this trick the one-up pirouette, because creativity is not allowed. They must do it the same as everybody else. Watch. Hup! I understand your silence. They did not do well. They are not impressed. For me, it will be impressive for all of you for one ball to go high in the air, while the other 2 pirouette. That is not good enough. They must do better. All 3 balls in the air with the pirouette. Better.
Whoa.
Better. Higher. I will never give you pets. That will work. All 3 balls go in the air, and then there is a 204-degree rotation. Celsius. In order for a ball to be well-rounded, it must also know metric. All 3 balls in the air with a pirouette. All 3 balls up and a pirouette. This time we call the trick awesome. But not the balls, lest they be confused. Woo! No! Do not clap! They will get the wrong idea. Clapping is cheating, much like this, which is bad. Whee! As is having fun. Back in line, you. Don't laugh. This could be you. If your mother was a tiger juggler. Watch as they fall perfectly into line. How sad that they can never play with their friends. Come back. Come back. Come back. In line, you. Watch as the harder tricks are done effortlessly. With aplomb. But yet, it is still not good enough. For these juggling balls are still reliant on me to do all of the work. Let's see if they have truly learned. Weak. Insolent. Miserable. I would have better off gotten juggling clubs. For at least they rotate around. Useless. You see, if you batter them enough, eventually they will love you. At least that's my theory. My plan is to make them feel so shamed that any bit of love that I give them causes them to weep into tears, which often they do, but it's unrelated. We will try again. Slowly, we will wean them off of my use. Watch. They are shamed by the pieces of birthday card. You see, no matter how high they go, they only can go as high as my own limitations as a juggling father. Which is why I give them the battle hymn, hup, 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 and yet they return useless. Watch now, as they give their final performance, hoping to win my respect and admiration. I make them practice until they get carpal tunnel. This one in particular screams carpal tunnel. No, this one, carpal tunnel! But you cannot give in. Make them continue to do it. This may look stupid. That's their fault. Not mine. Don't laugh. They might become clowns. And that would be the worst. One final big trick. A sustained 3-ball juggling in one hand with applause. For if they successfully do it, then they truly are mediocre juggling props. This is the hardest trick that they could possibly do. But yet, still, mediocre. But please, applaud for them, because every once in a while, it's good to throw your props a bone. Because eventually they'll have a psychotic break when you've been juggling them for about 13 years. And after that break, you will write a memoir. You'll pretend that it's tongue-in-cheek, but it's not. Trust me, I know. I have a New York Times bestseller. Watch now as all 3 balls are juggled in one hand with 2 hands. You can do it. Please.
Whoa.
No, it's too late. You guys lost your chance. If you were raised by stronger parents, you would have clapped at the right time. Watch as they vie for more applause. No!
Bad bull.
Bad. We will try again until they get it right. Sometimes it can take hours. We practice even on the weekends. Make sure to buy the book. They're only $45. And you too can learn how to be a tiger juggler, even though this isn't a how-to book. Merely a memoir of things that may or may not be true, about how I may or may not have treated my juggling props.